That proudly SA's Buy Local Summit Expo is zoning in on is the localization of the sugar industry. Business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo is still roaming the Expo and attending some panels. So Ntokozo, what do stakeholders propose for the sugar industry to localize?
Good afternoon, Dudu. Well, one of the things that stakeholders have been doing throughout the day today is really re-emphasizing the different master plans in the different industries that they say is important in driving economic growth and job creation. And of course, as you mentioned, the industries that are being focused on here include textiles, footwear, but also the sugar industry. And to help me unpack a little bit more on this, I am joined by SA Cane Growers CEO Thomas Funke. Thank you so much for your time. Now, one of the panel discussions that you will be in is looking at the localization of the sugar industry and really unpacking the master plan for the industry. Can you talk us through some of the solutions that are being unpacked there?
Yeah, absolutely. So localization is a massive issue for us. It's been one of the pillars of the master plan that we've been driving. At SA Cane Growers, we even established our own Home Sweet Home campaign. That was really, we don't sell sugar, but it was a campaign to educate the consumers to how important it is when they go into the store to choose the right sugar product. And you can only do that by turning it over and looking at the back and making sure it's made in South Africa. That revenue goes back to your most rural people. We've got 20,000 small-scale growers, 65,000 farm workers. They all directly benefit from every purchase of South African sugar.
And how do those small-scale farmers really get part of the action and localize the industry? Are there many obstacles to really becoming a player in the industry, or are those ways that the small-scale farmers can actually come into the industry also being discussed here today?
Yeah, small-scale growers are fundamental to our sector. So part of the master plan was to ensure their survival and sustainability, and we've done that by ensuring that they get paid a premium for the sugarcane that they deliver. So hopefully that will have added benefits going into the future, and we'll see their area expand and their yields improve, so that way they will become bigger players in the sugar industry. But in addition, it's very important for us to ensure that we sell more South African sugar, because as I said earlier, every ton that's sold in South Africa, that revenue gets shared between the growers and the millers, and the growers get 64% of that, and that's our division of proceeds. That's how the price is determined, and that money goes back to these small-scale growers in rural areas.
Let's just circle back a little bit to the master plan. Obviously, the master plan kind of tracks out or lines out what should happen by a certain time to see transformation in the industry, also that localization in the industry. How far are we for meeting some of those goals in the master plan? And do we see a revived energy by all stakeholders, including governments, to actually make sure that we see through that master plan?
Yeah, that's a good question. Phase 1 is coming to an end in a few days. So 31st of March is the end of the first period of the master plan, the first 3 years. And we're currently discussing phase 2 with Minister Patel, and I think he and his team are discussing that with other players in the master plan as to what it could look like going forward. As you all know, we are in a bit of a crisis at the moment. We've got Tonga Sugar in business rescue. And Gledhouse Sugar last week announced business rescue. So these are difficult times for us. We're trying to get out of it. But I think part of our phase 2 of the master plan, which is on Minister Patel's desk, is how do we rescue ourselves from the situation and then move into a brighter future. So hopefully that will unfold within the next few months.
Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for those insights. Of course, that was Dr. Thomas Funke, who is the CEO of SA Cane Growers, just talking about some of the challenges that the industry is going through, of course, highlighting some of those large-scale players that are struggling in business and in business rescue, but the importance of really bringing in those small-scale farmers into the fray and making them real players in the industry. As he said, the first phase of the master plan concluding, with now the industry looking to really line out the second plan of that master plan, Dudu.
Thank you very much, Ntokozo Khumalo.